Let's touch on our last story here, and that is Anthony Lynn, former coach of the Los Angeles Chargers, now the new offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. He says that they're going to take a hot hand approach at the running back position this season. Obviously, with the signing of Williams over from Green Bay, that now kind of adds some murkiness to the Detroit backfield that was once DeAndre Swift toward the end of last season. They're also being rumored to entertain the idea of possibly signing Todd Gurley. So when you think about those three guys in a backfield, you think very much of a situation like last year where it was Kerryon Johnson, Adrian Peterson, and DeAndre Swift. So my question to you is this good news for a guy like Williams? And is it bad news for a guy like Swift? Because obviously Williams is the guy that's you associate him with a better value in drafts right now. He's a guy that you can get later in drafts, maybe the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th round. Whereas for Swift, you're paying up. You want that guy that's going to give you, good productivity when you're reaching for him in the second or late second, mid-second round. So I guess my question to you, Jacob, is again, when I see that news, I'm excited for a guy like Williams, knowing that he can get a few carries in the second quarter of a game and take off. But are you as hyped about it as I am?
No, this is what I would call an off-season buzzkill. If we're trying to find an opposite word of hype, this is
buzzkill. That's a good one.
Look, we have to learn as fantasy players to separate real football from fantasy, right? We got I could see I don't have a lot of Swift stocks, but if I have Swift in a keeper league or dynasty league, I hate this news. And it makes me just hate the coaches in Detroit, right? But it's not their fault. They don't care about our fantasy teams, right? But to me, this just ruins any hype for DeAndre Swift, to be honest, because we're looking at it and for the first time in a long time, running back is pretty stacked right now because we had an influx of 6 running backs last year that are going into starting positions again this year. And I guess you could throw James Robinson too. He was part of that, but obviously Etienne going there hurt him a little bit. And then we have at least 2 or 3 new rookies coming in as well. So running back's pretty stacked. And you look at Swift and it's he's a good, second or third a great third running back to have, a really good second running back to have. And it's wait a minute. He was I think he was a second round pick last year. He showed that he's very talented, and you're going to just diminish all of his momentum that he has and probably hurt his confidence. I don't understand these teams, the situation with Jalen Hurts, how they were saying for a while that they're going to have a competition. I'm no, that's not how you do it. And this is just me. You're supposed to put faith in your guys and say, this is our guy. Right. And I don't know, obviously for the quarterback position, for the running back position, it's a little bit different, but I would also say look, they have a lot of draft capital in Swift. To me, he's clearly the most talented of the bunch right now. They also drafted Jamar Jefferson as well. Jamar Jefferson. So why are they bringing in Todd Gurley? I don't get it. But this is it kind of upsets me for the Swift because it's just saying okay, now Jamal Williams can just come in and take the starting job if he's has the hot hand, or maybe Jamar Jefferson has the hot hand. Todd Gurley is going to have the hot hand up when they sign him, right? So I honestly just don't even believe them. I just think it's no, Swift is the guy. Jamal Williams is going to be a nice piece. I could see something like a Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt split between those two, but then where do they work in the rookie? Do they bring in somebody else? I just think for fantasy, this is bad news for Swift. But here's how you handle this. And I'm a pro handcuff guy. You have to if you have DeAndre Swift, find a way to get Jamal Williams on your roster. That's what I would recommend.
Yeah, perfect handcuff, perfect scenario. I can't agree with you more. You talked about Swift and you talked about Jacksonville at the same time, and it's almost a similar situation in the sense that you draft a guy like ETN in Jacksonville, and you're hearing this noise that, hey, he's going to be a wide receiver. We're putting him outside the
And
lines a
he's
little
only
bit.
going to be a third down back.
He's only going to be a third down back. And you heard those same kinds of things about Swift last year. But obviously Swift was they were both – wait, was Swift a first-round pick last year?
I think he was a second-round pick.
He was a second-round pick. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So when you hear those things, I look at the players as a whole. I think ETN is better built as a more consistent, dominant, 3-down back than Swift is. I think he was really remarkable with his pass catching chops in college, and he proved that his first year in the NFL. But the more you talk about it, I'm not a fan of DeAndre Swift where he's going. But I could see more scenarios where he succeeds and he proves a lot of doubters wrong, including myself. But for right now, this is something that I'm leaning towards in the Jamal Williams direction, like I stated earlier. But hey, this is where we differ. And that's what it is. That's what Hype Noise is. You pick a side, all right? And that's what we're doing here.